Yo, what's good YouTube? I'm Petti, back with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be bringing you some great tips on what to do when there is a market crash. So before we start this video, make sure you guys go down and like this video right now. Also, if you are new, be sure to subscribe if you want daily MyTEAM tips and content, and if you want to come out of these videos as the greatest MyTEAM player of all time. So anyways, let's get straight into the video. So guys, I'm just going to start off with a couple of disclaimers. So one of them being market crashes usually happen when new packs drop, which I mean it's pretty obvious. And to find out when new packs are dropping, if you don't already have a Twitter, make a Twitter and go and follow NBA 2K MyTEAM. And you could also go follow me. You can see my name in the bottom left hand side of the corner. Just search up Petti and you will see me pop up. I have that at name. Anyway, so yeah, market crashes do happen when new packs are dropping, and also remember, the better the player that's dropping or the more hyped up that player is, the more that people are going to rip the packs, which equals lower prices on every single card that is on the auction block, because more people are going to be pulling them and people are just going to be throwing them up and uppercutting and undercutting, not uppercutting. They're going to be undercutting all prices, and it's just going to be sniping central for great MT makers. Another disclaimer is that I really wouldn't recommend pulling packs unless you like absolutely feel you need to open packs to have that player, aka like you have no MT to snipe, or you really want to get the player that's in those packs, because the card, you can literally just buy whatever cards you feel like you need. You can honestly go and buy them on the auction house for really cheap, rather than spending your real life money on a video game when you can be spending it on like actual things that you might need in life. All it takes is some patience and some auction house working, I guess, and it's really not that difficult. Like if say you want to get, like, say, because there's an Allen Iverson dropping tomorrow, so say you want to get that AI, right? You can just sit on the auction. If you have like decent amount of MT, like say you have like at least 75k, you can literally just sit on the auction house and just keep refreshing for that player. But say you have like 10k, right, and you really want this player, then yeah, I mean, I guess you can go open the packs, but think about it, these players aren't really going to be that useful to you. Just make sure you really know you want like that certain card. Make sure you know which collection that's in if you're going to be trying to complete that collection, or maybe make sure like that card that you have is going to have some longevity to it. Like I feel like if I got AI, he wouldn't have too much longevity to him, and just make sure you know you really want that card. So my last disclaimer is make sure you pay attention to your time zone and equal to other time zones, because you have to remember that there's a bunch of kids and there's a bunch of adults on this game that are coming out of work or that are coming out of school. So you want to make sure you know when everybody's coming out of school and when everybody's coming out of work. If you live on the East Coast, you're obviously going to be coming out of school earlier and coming out of work earlier than everybody else on the West Coast or in the Central, because the East Coast is the fastest, I mean, it's not the fastest, but it's the most ahead time zone in the United States, and that's where, like, you know, the mass amount of players are. I'm not leaving out the Australian guys, because I know you guys do play this game a lot. So if you live in Australia and you're watching this video, you might want to do some research on the time zones that people live in America, because I really don't know the Australian time zones. But if you do live in America, make sure you do take in every single time zone. So guys, my first actual tip is to snipe silvers, and for maximum profits you might want to keep that card for a little while. Like snipe a bunch of silvers, because the silvers will go back up. If we have learned any of the past packs that have dropped, we have seen that silvers do stay the same price usually. Maybe they'll go down like a little bit, maybe they'll go down like 1k, but the ones that are high price, like the ones that are around 10k right now, they will probably stay around 10k, and the ones that are around like 5, 6, 7k, they will probably stay around there. But the ones that are probably like 2, 3, 4k, those will probably end up going down a little bit. I mean, they'll all probably go down a little bit, but those will go down more than others. But just make sure you keep, when you snipe these silvers, you keep them and you do not put them on the block up right away. Now this does mean that you need some patience with this, because having those silvers in your auction house is very tempting to sell them. So you do want to make sure that you don't do that, so you can really maximize your profits. And just remember, people will always going to be throwing away silver cards, either out of laziness or lack of knowledge of the prices. So a good tip for this would be going on the auction house the day before the packs drop and go search up like the high, like just go search up every single silver, unless they're on like the Warriors or on the Pelicans, because I know those are the teams where the silvers are worth the least. But make sure you do go out and check on like the high price silvers. I do have a video on all those, like every single silver price. Now those prices have obviously changed since then, but the ones that are really expensive, the ones that were expensive back then, are still pretty expensive now. So that is a good way to go around. So maybe you don't have to search up every single silver, you could just search up the silvers that I did put on that list that are highly priced. So I really hope that does help you guys out with researching your price silvers. But you have to remember, you do have to do some research. It does take some time to be able to make a good amount of MT. So make sure you guys do go out on the auction house the day before the cards drop and check out the silver cards and their prices. So another good way of making MT when the auction house drops is the amethyst drop down in price by actually a decent amount. Usually they drop down for around like 10k, they'll drop down in price, and like the higher ones like LeBron, Steph Curry, they'll drop down 20, 30k. So that can easily be, you could just scoop up that card, wait like a week, and his price will end up going back up. Now, it won't go up to the price it used to be at, but every single amethyst card will have a minimum of like 10k that they'll be going back up in price. The next option that you guys have when the cards drop and when the packs drop and when the auction house crashes, through market crashes, you guys can build your collector level. Now this is probably prime time to build your collector level and complete collections, because cards are going for the lowest that they'll really be going for at the moment. So unless you want to wait a while, like which I'm going to be doing, I'm not really going to be completing collections or going for collector level yet. I'm going to be going for that probably around December, January, February, March, around there. I'm going to be going for high collector level, but for now I'm not really going to do anything. But if you don't want to do it, I would really recommend buying jerseys, playbooks, the logos, all the like the ball cards. I would really recommend going and sniping everything that you possibly can. Go on jerseys, snipe like under like 700, and you'll be surprised about how many jerseys that you get. And it also helps that 2K has that thing on the card when you already have a card purchased, and you are like, you don't have to wonder anymore whether you have that card or not. So it already tells you, so you can just sit there and just snipe all day long for the jerseys and for the playbooks, for the arenas, all stuff like that. And that is actually a really good way to get cards, because those are really cheap, and like they're usually under like 1k MT. So you can, if you have 100k, you can get 100 cards ASAP. You would probably even get more than that, because you're going to be sniping cards for like under 1k, so you're going to be getting like cards for 700. And even for the players, like you can sit there and snipe silver players, you can sit there and snipe the gold players if you don't have them already, because gold players are already going for the low. So you could sit there and snipe them for probably like 600 MT if you don't have them. And the silver cards, obviously people are going to be throwing them up on the block like there's no tomorrow. And the emerald cards already go for little, so they're going to be going for even less. So this is all in all a great time to build your collector level. Also, if you don't want to open the packs but you want the player in the pack, the first day the packs come out, that is the best day, or the best chance you're going to have. Like the first couple of days is the best chance that you're going to have to snipe that card for a pretty like cheap price. So say when AI comes out tomorrow, he's going for what, 200k, 150k, right? And you want to get it, and you only have what, like less than 100k. This is going to be the best time for you to snipe him. So you guys are going to want to go on that auction block, put your maximum buyout at 100k, and go to, you guys are going to want to change something when you're sniping, like maybe go to minimum bid and put that up to 1k, and every single time that you refresh, go down to that bid and change it by 50 MT. That makes your auction house refresh like 1 or 2 seconds faster. It is proven. I've done it. It's how I get made all my MT. It's how I get my silver snipes, and how I've really built my MT to this point. It makes the auction house refresh faster, and you get there before anybody else really does. And I know a bunch of people are doing this right now, so make sure when you're going to snipe those new cards that are coming out, you do change the bid to a higher, to like 1k, and you put the buyout to like what, 100k, or the max MT that you have that you can buy that player, because the first couple days is going to be the best days that you can snipe the player that comes out in that pack. Any other day after that, people aren't really going to be pulling him as much, so there's not going to be as many of him being put up on the auction house. So obviously that means less chances of you sniping the card that you want. The last couple set of things that is worth sniping are badges, the diamond shoes, the diamond contracts, the playbooks that are better. Obviously, you're not gonna want to snipe like the trash playbooks. Like a good playbook, for example, is the Magic playbook. That playbook has a bunch of good plays in it, and a bunch of people are using that one. I'll have a video on playlist coming out as soon as possible for you guys. This is also a good form of sniping because you can literally just sit there and refresh badges all day long. You can refresh the diamond shoes, the diamond contracts. The diamond shoes and contracts are really vital because they go for like 10k. Like the good shoes go for 10k and the contracts go for 10k. And if you snipe them for 5k, you can make good MT off of it. And there's going to be a bunch of people pulling them in the packs, obviously, because people are going to be ripping those packs. So there's going to be a bunch of people ripping these packs open, trying to get these cool players. And in the meantime, they're going to be pulling these diamond shoes and these diamond contracts, and they're going to be putting them on the block. This is definitely not the best way to make MT. Like, this isn't the fastest way. The badges, the diamond shoes and the diamond contracts, the best way out of this one is probably the badges, because you can sit there and just refresh the badges. Now, the badges that I would recommend that are actually worth going to snipe are the shooting badges, and like as a side on like defensive stopper, you can probably survive off the shooting badges because there's going to be a bunch of badges being just thrown up on the auction house. And you guys are also going to want to go make sure you check out the prices of the badges before the inflation, before everybody opens the packs, and before everybody's like undercutting each other, because that gives you a real estimate on what the badges are actually worth. So you're going to want to write that down, or maybe put it in a Google Doc or something so you can remember, because you're obviously not going to remember the prices of every single badge just off the top of your head. So you guys are going to want to write that down somewhere, remember it, so you can go on the next day and snipe those badges. Now, when you do snipe these badges, I would recommend keeping them until a couple days after the packs have been out, so the prices of the badges will go back up and you can make your maximum amount of MT. So the final thing that I have for you guys is good luck out there on the auction house. The auction house can be a tricky place if you don't know what you're doing, so make sure you guys do go in there, get that experience. There's only one way to get better at sniping, and that is by doing it. So that is all I really have for you guys in this video. I really hope you did enjoy. I really hope you found it very informational, and I really hope you guys go out there and make tons and tons of MT. I know my MT method videos have really helped in the past. A bunch of people, I've seen comments, a bunch of people making 700k MT, crazy amounts of MT. So I really hope this does help you guys out. I know I'll be using these tactics on my own as well, so I hope you guys aren't out there out sniping me through my own tactics, but I really hope you guys did find this informational. And if you did, make sure you hit that like button and that subscribe button if you do want to become one of the best MyTEAM players of all time. Anyways, that is all I have for you guys in this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and peace out.